The void left by a departed father. The loss of a father is a pain difficult to put into words. Even with the passage of time, the void left by the absence of such an important figure remains. A father is more than just a caregiver or provider. He is a source of security, inspiration, and often unconditional love. When he is gone, a child's world changes forever, and longing becomes a constant presence. In this piece, we will reflect on the void left by a departed father and how his absence impacts a child's life. Even after his passing, the love and teachings he left behind continue to shape choices, feelings, and memories. We will explore how the pain of loss transforms into a longing that, while it may never completely disappear, can be overcome with time, as the father's memories continue to guide and strengthen. The lingering longing, the absence of a father, and the immense void. Losing a father is like losing the emotional anchor that for so long served as a secure support. Even after many years, the longing remains. It's a void that cannot be filled because a father is not just a family figure. He is the foundation that supports his child's life, giving them direction, support, and love. The longing for a departed father is a constant feeling. No matter how much time passes, certain moments in life always remind us of the void he left. A birthday, an achievement, a moment of difficulty. Everything makes us wish we could look at him and feel his pride, his support, or even his advice. In many situations, a child finds themselves talking to themselves, "How I wish he were here to see me. How good it would be to hear his voice now." And often the pain of a father's physical absence mixes with an internal doubt. Would he be proud of me? This void is a reflection of the immense loss he left behind, something no other relationship can fully fill. The impact of paternal absence on life decisions. The absence of a father can have a profound impact on a child's life decisions. From everyday choices to major decisions about career, relationships, and the future, the lack of a father figure can create a space of uncertainty and a constant search for validation. A father, with his life experience, often offers the advice or guidance that helps a child navigate these choices. Without him, a child may find themselves trying to fill this void in different ways, often seeking guidance elsewhere or trying to find answers on their own. This search for "what would he say" becomes a constant in moments of doubt. When a father has passed, a child often has to rely on memory and past examples, trying to remember the lessons he taught. But even this can be challenging, as the longing and the emptiness of his absence sometimes make it difficult to think clearly. The emotional loneliness and the desire to have someone to lean on become more evident in moments of crisis, or when a child faces challenges that a father would normally help them with. These choices may not be wrong, but they always carry the shadow of "if only he were here." The remembrance of a father. How his lessons and examples continue to guide. Even after a father's passing, the lessons and examples he left continue to echo in a child's life. Many children, even as adults, find themselves in moments where their father's words come back to mind, guiding their actions and decisions. The silent wisdom a father shared over the years becomes a legacy that goes beyond his physical presence. These lessons can be great teachings about life, work, relationships, and even how to handle challenges. But often children also remember small gestures, like a look of approval, a word of comfort in difficult times, or a simple act of support that reflected the father's love and concern. These memories become an emotional compass, always present, helping a child navigate life's ups and downs. The longing, instead of being a feeling of loss, begins to be a living memory of how the father shaped the child, giving them the emotional resources to face the world. The silent pain. How the absence of a father shapes personal identity. The pain of a father's absence is not only emotional, but also psychological. It affects a child's personal identity in a profound and often silent way. When a father is gone, a child may begin to question their identity and the role they play in the world, especially in relation to the model of masculinity or fatherhood that was left for them. The absence of a father can lead to a search for a role model. In many cases, children try to fill this void with other male figures, whether a mentor, a friend, or a public figure. However, nothing can replace the original presence of a father. This can lead to feelings of insecurity and a lack of direction, as the child feels that something essential is missing in the formation of their identity. However, with time, this pain can also transform into an inner strength. Children who have lost their fathers often become more resilient people, more determined to honor their father's memory and continue to live according to the values he left behind. The absence of a father can become motivation to become the person he always dreamed they would be. The influence of paternal absence on future relationships. The absence of a father also directly impacts a child's future relationships, especially with a partner and in building their own family. Paternal absence can create an emotional void, which can be felt subconsciously. Many children of absent or deceased fathers may develop difficulties in fully trusting others, fearing that the loss will be repeated. Effective relationships can be more difficult to establish or maintain, as a child carries with them the uncertainty of how they should behave or what to expect from a healthy romantic relationship. Some may try to fill this void in their own children or in relationships with friends and family, seeking what was missing in their own lives. However, with time and self-awareness, these challenges can be overcome. The absence of a father can teach a child the importance of communication, the need to be emotionally transparent, and the pursuit of emotional self-sufficiency. By learning to deal with the absence, a child can create more solid and satisfying relationships based on trust, respect, and genuine love. The father's legacy, how his qualities continue to live in his child's actions. The loss of a father does not erase the impact he has on a child's life. A father's legacy goes beyond his physical presence. The father's character, qualities, and teachings continue to live on through his child's daily actions. Often, a child finds themselves making choices based on principles that were passed down from generation to generation, not necessarily through words, but through example. If the father was a hard-working, honest, and generous person, these qualities can continue to be expressed by the child, who, even without the father nearby, tries to follow the same principles and values. In moments of decision, the child asks themselves, perhaps without knowing it, what would he do? The father's legacy, therefore, manifests itself in unexpected ways, becoming a silent guide that, even after his passing, continues to orient and inspire the child. This legacy is a way of immortalizing the father, of keeping him alive in the collective memory of the family, being a source of strength and an example for future generations. Physical absence does not erase the emotional and moral impact the father left, and he lives through his child's attitudes and choices. Overcoming grief. How to transform a father's absence into personal strength. The pain of losing a father is something that never completely disappears, but over time, it can transform into personal strength. The longing and emptiness can become fuel for overcoming, for building one's own legacy that honors the father, and even for creating a resilient life story. When a child loses a father, they are faced with a difficult choice. Let the pain define their life, or use that pain as motivation to move forward, to grow and honor what the father represented. The transformation of this pain into strength is not an easy process, but it is possible. Many children of departed fathers discover that by facing this pain, they develop an emotional resilience that makes them stronger and more capable of handling life's challenges. This overcoming can lead to the creation of an inspiring life story, where the loss of the father is transformed into a living tribute, an example of how pain can be overcome with courage and love. By learning to deal with a father's absence, a child often finds the strength to become a better version of themselves with a broader life perspective and a deeper connection to their own emotions and values. How the absence of a father shapes a child's worldview. The absence of a father also has a profound impact on a child's worldview. The lack of this figure can cause a child to develop a more complex view of life, relationships, and the role of people in society. The loss of a father can lead a child to question not only the father's role, but also the role of male figures in their life. Without the constant presence of a father, a child can become more emotionally self-sufficient. But they may also start looking for other paternal references in other places, such as friends, mentors, or even public figures. The absence of a father can create an emotional gap, but it can also open up the possibility for a child to identify and connect with other figures who can help them fill this void. This lack of a paternal reference can sometimes be challenging, but it can also help a child develop a greater understanding of the complexity of human relationships and the importance of being a solid and reliable figure for others. The loss of a father, although painful, can make a child more reflective and more capable of creating genuine connections with others. Facing grief, how to deal with paternal absence throughout life. Grief over the loss of a father is not something that disappears with time. In many cases it transforms, but paternal absence remains present in various forms throughout life. As a child ages and goes through important milestones such as graduation, marriage, fatherhood, they are faced with the pain of absence, wondering what it would be like if their father were there to celebrate those moments. Learning to deal with grief is a continuous process. It's not about forgetting the pain, but about learning to live with it in a way that allows the memory of the father to become a source of strength and wisdom. Some people find comfort in celebrating their father's life, creating rituals of remembrance, such as birthdays or significant dates, to keep the memory and legacy of the departed alive. Grief is also a personal experience, and each person experiences it uniquely. It is important to give yourself permission to feel the pain, but also to look for ways to honor your father's memory in a way that contributes to personal growth and the strengthening of family bonds. The father's presence in memory, how he lives on in every step of his child. Although a father has physically departed, his presence remains alive in memory, legacy, and his child's daily actions. Every time a child makes a decision based on principles their father taught them, every time they face adversity with courage and determination, they bring their father back to life. The father lives on in the choices and values he transmitted, and in every aspect of the child that is shaped by that deep and lasting love. The memory of a father is not something that fades. It transforms into strength, example, and love. The father continues to be a silent presence in his child's life, guiding them invisibly but immeasurably in every step they take. Even in physical absence, the father lives on in the memory of lessons, gestures of affection, and the emotional impact he left. The legacy of a father who never leaves. The absence of a father leaves a space that will never be completely filled, but paradoxically, it also creates a space for his legacy to live on in a very special way. What truly matters is that even after his passing, a father's love, lessons, and memory continue to shape and inspire his children's lives. He may no longer be physically present, but his influence remains in every step a child takes, in every choice they make, and in every action that reflects the values the father transmitted to them. The longing and pain of absence can be difficult to deal with, but with time, these feelings can transform into strength, wisdom, and gratitude. Children can carry their father's memory with pride, honoring his legacy and passing on the principles and teachings he left behind. And even if the pain of loss never completely disappears, the father's presence in memory and in the heart remains, like a beacon to guide the way. If you also miss your father and want to share your story, or if you want to reflect on the legacy he left, join us in the comments. Let's create a space of welcome and solidarity for those who feel the absence of a paternal figure. If this topic touched your heart, subscribe to our channel, Light in Fatherhood, and join this journey of reflection on a father's love and absence. Honor your father's memory, share your memories, and help others find comfort. Because even when they depart, a father's love never fades.